the United States has a very big problem, and his name is Benjamin Netanyahu.
Iran says it's suspending peace talks with the U.S. Iranian state TV says negotiators will stop messaging their U.S. counterparts in retaliation for Israel's growing operations in Lebanon. Now Iran says it's determined to completely block the Strait of Hormuz and other shipping routes. Foreign correspondent Tom Soufi-Burridge is in Jerusalem with more. Tom, this seems like a major setback.
It could be, Diane. I think it's early stages. I mean, I think this is coming from Tasnim, that is a news agency affiliated with Iran's IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the military in Iran, effectively, a very powerful force. They have their tentacles right through the Iranian state. So it is significant that they're putting this messaging out. Does it mean that talks have completely collapsed? I don't think we can quite say that right now. I think it definitely reflects the fact that Iran believes that it has cards to play in these negotiations. We've seen that for weeks now, not only in terms of the military exchanges between the US military and the Iranians in and around the Strait of Hormuz, but really, despite all of the pressure, the Iranians are still maintaining that they want something out of this negotiation, that they're not just willing to give up their nuclear program wholesale. That seems to be the case, and that is what President Trump wants. And look, everything is also being complicated, and I think this statement that we're talking about from Tasnim, saying that the talks are breaking down, I think this reflects the fact that the Israeli military are stepping up their military campaign in Lebanon, because Iran is saying, if you want to deal with us, if the US wants an agreement to end this war, to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, that vital shipping lane for the world's economy, then not only does the war between Iran and the US have to halt, but also Israel's military campaign against the Iranian proxy Hezbollah in Lebanon also has to halt.
Okay, so we got to talk about what's going on, really what just happened in the Middle East. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You know me, love Trump, don't really like Iran, support the United States no matter what. But we have to be real. When it's time to be real and cut the crap, you just got to be real and cut the crap. Benjamin Netanyahu ordered the bombing of Beirut. This is a city inside of Lebanon. And now he is pushing deeper into Lebanon. As we speak, Israeli forces are moving further into the mainland of Lebanon. It almost feels like a total backfire from where I'm sitting, at least. President Trump is out here busting his butt to negotiate a historic peace deal, working around the clock nonstop, right, to end the shooting, to end the missile exchange, and ultimately stabilize the region. And what does Bibi Netanyahu do? He drops a payload on the suburbs, on a suburban area of Beirut. He forces a mass exodus of citizens, innocent civilians, and completely stalls out all United States and Iranian diplomatic negotiations. It looks reckless. It looks defiant. And frankly, it looks like he's undermining America, especially our commander-in-chief. For a minute, it felt like Netanyahu was playing along, going along with whatever Trump wanted to do, following Trump's lead. But now it's looking like Netanyahu is playing his own game. He's totally detached from what's best for the United States of America and Donald Trump's ultimate agenda of winning the midterms. And he's sold out on this idea of destroying Hamas and Hezbollah for what he calls the ensured safety of his nation. But I don't know if we can buy that. If you saw the United States was negotiating peace, why not go to the negotiating table to see if there's something that you can do about Hezbollah and Hamas ultimately. If we're able to get control over the head of the snake, there's a good chance that we'll be able to get control over its proxies. But Benjamin Netanyahu wasn't patient enough for that. And it could be the will of his people. I don't know. But what I do know is that this idea that Israel is controlling the United States, I think we can kind of put that one to bed right now. Because if Israel was controlling the United States, wouldn't he simply just have had the United States attack Lebanon? Wouldn't he be able to tell Trump, hey, screw those negotiations. You ain't negotiating. We're in control. We're gonna end these dudes. Wouldn't he be able to do that? I'm just saying that's a little critical thinking. But before we go too far, we have to just hold on for a second. Because I like to look at things from both sides. Let's take a step back and actually look at the data. Everyone talks about data, and receipts. We got to discuss it. Because in this room where I'm sitting, we don't just read corporate media headlines and run away with them. We look at receipts. We break it down, we get to the bottom of it, and we form an opinion, and we stick to it, unless someone gives us irrefutable evidence and reasons why we should switch our opinion. Now, let's go. Why is Israel moving past Beaufort Castle? Well, the truth of it is, why are they going deeper down into Lebanon? The facts are this: because Hezbollah has spent weeks repeatedly violating the U.S. brokered ceasefire with explosive drones and rockets targeting civilians. The whole entire time that the United States and Iran have been engaged in peace talks, Hezbollah has been launching drones into Israel. Obviously, the mainstream media is not going to highlight that because it doesn't make Trump look bad. It actually makes Trump look good. And what people have to understand is you're going to get 95% negative coverage of Trump. So that means you're only going to get a part of what's actually happening, and you got to do the research on your own. And I know you guys are busy. You have your own lives. You don't have time to be looking up details about Iran and the U.S. and their conflict. You got kids to feed. You got work to do. That's why you have me here to do it for you. So when I look at this holistically, Netanyahu's not just trying to pick a fight with Trump from where I'm sitting. He's actually trying to totally dismantle Hezbollah. It sits right at his border, and he understands that they want nothing more than to wipe his country off the face of the earth. No one can argue this. Even the most hardline Trump haters will tell you Hezbollah and Hamas want the permanent end of the state of Israel. Whether you agree with that, whether you disagree with it, it doesn't really matter. If you want to exterminate someone or something, ultimately that someone or something is going to fight as hard as they can to survive. It doesn't matter if you're trying to drown a cockroach. That cockroach is going to fight as hard as it can to survive and live, right? And guess what? If Hezbollah is allowed to continue to exist, if Iran gets a pass to start rebuilding its military, its navy, and its nuclear weapons program, that doesn't just threaten Jerusalem. It actually threatens the Western world, including but not limited to the United States of America. It threatens us, you, me, our children, and everybody else. A strong, uncompromising defense in the Middle East, in my opinion, is the only thing that is keeping these radical actors from exporting their chaos to the rest of the world. We see what's going on in the Strait of Hormuz. We see what's going on with Iran. And one of my biggest criticisms of Iran is this: the United States strikes Iran. I get that. Iran then in turn strikes Israel. I understand that as well. But then Iran goes further than that. Iran strikes its own Muslim neighbors who are immediately next to it. And they haven't done a single thing. And then they say, well, we're trying to attack American assets within these countries. Well, here's the situation. Is America using these assets to attack you? Because everything America is doing is coming from aircraft carriers and then some stuff coming out, I think, Kuwait, right? Why are you bombing the UAE? Why are you attacking Saudi Arabia? Countries that really don't have ill will towards you, but at the same time, they understand what you do globally. And if Iran was the good guy in this situation, why hasn't any Middle Eastern country came out in their defense? You haven't heard a single Middle Eastern country condemn Trump, Israel, or any of the things they've done when it comes to striking against Iran. Let me know, because I'm ready. Let me know. I'm trying to see, right? So what it really looks like is Bibi is doing what many people in America called on Donald Trump to do. Because even as Trump entered into negotiations, people were like, don't negotiate. Finish the job. Don't just weaken them, totally obliterate them so they cannot threaten the United States in the future. Understand that. But then there's this vocal minority of people who are like, no, it doesn't matter. Everything Israel does and the United States does is bad. Everything Iran does is good. Richard Muirhead, if you're that hurt, bro, come up. Guys, for 2 weeks, I have been trying to find one person to come up and make a coherent argument as to the virtuous nature of the Iranian National Guard, as to the virtuous nature of the IRGC. These people defend Iran in every comment section across social media. But when you ask them to come up and present a few facts or even some good talking points about what they're doing, guess what? They can't do it. And what does that mean? That means that these people have been programmed. That means these people have been told what to think. Me, I come up, I give you the examples. Hey, this is what Hezbollah is doing. Hey, this is what Iran's doing. This is what the United States is doing. This is what Israel's doing. This is what's going on. This is my opinion on it. They never can. And these people don't understand. Until you can prove your point, until you can build a argument based on what you believe, guess what? No one's listening. I'm giving you the link. The link is in the comments. Click it and come up. It will block me. Look, someone's like, I'll just block you. Who cares? You're a grown man. I'll block me. You sound like a hurt female. I'm going to block you. Is Iran just a country that sits in the Persian Gulf, or is it someone you're dating? Anyway, let's get back to this. That's just my take on this whole situation based on the facts on the ground as I understand them to be. You don't have to take my word for it. You can look at the maps yourself. You can read the intelligence briefs. They're out there and think for yourself. Is Netanyahu working with Donald Trump to secure peace and security for the region? Or is Netanyahu undermining everything Donald Trump is attempting to do for his own selfish reasons, including, but not limited to, not being arrested on charges of committing war crimes and put on trial by, the United Nations or the war crimes? I don't even know where he would be put on trial. But there's a real possibility. There are several European countries that have said if Benjamin Netanyahu steps foot in their country, they're going to arrest him. So could this be why he continues to escalate the situation? Is peace actually the worst case scenario for Benjamin Netanyahu? That's my question. And we can get to the answer, and we can get to the answer together. Or we can go run and hide in our echo chambers to go listen to people who just tell us what we want to hear. And then when they're proven to be lying, they just say, oh, okay. And then they move on to the next thing without even offering so much as an apology to the people who they brainwashed and swindled. I want you guys to drop your opinions in the comments. Let me know what you think about this situation. Do you think the United States is on the right side of history? Do you think the United States is on the wrong side? Do you believe the United States is operating as a proxy of the state of Israel? There is so much going on here. There's so much to unpack here. But what we do know currently, right, is that the U.S.-Iran peace talks have been totally suspended. They basically been totally destroyed by Benjamin Netanyahu's actions inside of Lebanon. Now we are back almost seemingly at square one, where we are exchanging strikes again. Do I think that's bad? I kind of think it's bad because I wish Trump would have just kept going with the strikes on Iran. Why give them room to breathe? You know, as soon as you stop hitting them, they're going to start working and squirreling to get some weapons or do something that they think could hurt America or one of its allies. So why keep giving the person breathing room? It's kind of like that movie Bloodsport. Remember that? When, what was that guy's name? I forgot the guy's name in Bloodsport, but the big Asian guy who was kicking everybody's ass. Remember when Frank Duke's friend, the big white biker guy, beats him down and he starts prematurely celebrating and gives him a chance to recover, and then he comes back and beats the guy up and stomps on his head? That's what I kind of feel. At that point, if Iran was able to do something that really hurt the United States, like took the lives of several of our men and women in the armed forces, then I would definitely have to condemn Trump and his refusal to just put the death knell in the coffin when it comes to the IRGC, because I don't think that the world is gonna. I don't think this time next year, the IRGC is gonna be around. They might be around as a terrorist group, a small one, terrorist faction, but I don't think they're gonna be running Iran, even if it's the people who overthrow them. They're not good leadership. I believe they're too hardline, and I believe they're too dead set on vengeance against America and other people they felt have wronged them in the past, and that stands in the way of them creating a safe, prosperous nation for their people. Let's tap into this.
Hopes of a quick deal are fading. In Kuwait, air raid sirens were wailing this morning as explosions rang out. The Kuwaiti military says it intercepted a barrage of Iranian drones and missiles. U.S. Central Command is back in action too, launching new, quote, self-defense attacks on Iranian radar stations and drone command and control sites on at least one island and the Iranian mainland. Iran's Revolutionary Guard threatening to escalate with a, quote, completely different response. CENTCOM announced it also fired a Hellfire missile into the engine of a ship in the Persian Gulf, stopping it from entering an Iranian port. The U.S. naval blockade still in effect after President Trump on Friday said he would soon make a decision on the ceasefire. Overnight, Trump claimed in a social media post that too many voices from Republicans and those he called Democrats are slowing him down, writing, "It is much tougher for me to properly do my job and negotiate when political hacks keep negatively chirping at levels never seen before." Democrats pushing for...
Yeah, I totally understand what Donald Trump is saying. It's like, to me, Iran is on fumes. They're running on fumes. They don't really have a lot of options. But the more they see the situation driving this wedge between the American people, more specifically between American politicians, the more that gives them hope that maybe they will survive this conflict, that maybe they will be able to secure a future where the IRGC still exists and is in control of the day-to-day governance of the Iranian people. What are the Democrats? My question is this. Gas is already high. The American people, for the most part, are not on your side. So what do you really gain from continuing to bash the president over the Iran situation? 99% of Americans believe that Iran should not be able to acquire a nuclear weapon. 99% of Americans agree to that. There's a few fringe radicals, goofballs who are like, man, yeah, Iran should be allowed to enrich uranium or whatever, but that is the very small vocal minority, right? But let me show you this. What I don't understand is that Iran is the a couple months ago, they took a vote in the House of Representatives, And the vote was on whether or not Iran was the number one global sponsor of terrorism. And if you look at the response to this, over 95% of all politicians in the United States, over 95% of all politicians in the United States agreed by vote, yay or nay, that Iran is the number one global sponsor of terrorism. So if 95% of our politicians agree on this, why is there any disagreement on how to handle it? Oh, they're the number one global sponsor of terrorism, but just let them continue to exist because they won't do anything. They're not really a threat. Come on, man. Come on. You have to be realistic. They don't pose a threat. I honestly feel like many of you may feel. I feel like Iran is just biding its time. Soon as it gets the capability to strike a death blow to the United States, they'll do it. I mean, this country is willing to attack countries that have done nothing to them in an attempt to hurt the United States. That is literally the definition of terrorism. When you strike out against innocent people in an attempt to sway or to impact or change political decision making, policy making. I want to show you this real quick. Look right here. This was a vote taken earlier this year. March 5th, 2026. HR 1099, reaffirming Iran remains the largest state sponsor of terrorism. So this was asking every politician, do you believe that Iran is the largest state sponsor of global terrorism? 88% across all lines, Democrats, Independents, Republicans, Libertarians, 88% said yes. 215 Republicans, followed by 157 Democrats. Understand that. The New Democrat Coalition, 98 people. Congressional Progressive Caucus, 49 people. Understand that. Now look at here. The nays were 53 people, which represents just 12% of our Congress, which ultimately, it will represent 12% of our people. So I don't understand what the issue is. Everyone's like, oh, you're a plant, you Israel this, Israel that. I'm like, guys, how is someone like me a puppet or propagandist of Israel when 88% of our politicians agree that Iran is the number one global sponsor of terror? Please tell me. I'm just trying to understand that. Everyone, listen, guys, when you read in the comments people telling me how naive I am, I want you to challenge those people to come up, click the link, come up and explain to me. Come up, Sandy, come up. I won't say a word for 5 minutes, and I will let you explain to me and my audience why I'm naive. Explain to me, this is the biggest thing. Explain to me how you know the mind of a terrorist regime so well that you are able to, with 100% certainty, determine that they will not attempt to strike against the United States of America viciously and violently if they were able to acquire nuclear missiles, if they were allowed to enrich nuclear uranium to the point where they can create a nuclear warhead. Guys, they told you, they lied about how far their missiles could even go. And then they launched a missile that was damn near capable of hitting the UK and said, oh, we lied about that. And I remember when people were arguing me about that. Their missiles can't even reach this far or that far. People are like, they don't even have that range on their missiles. Then they launched a missile that went way further than anything they reported that they had. And Iran was just like, yeah, so now you know. Come on, guys. I'm just asking. I'm dumb. I'm ignorant. I don't know anything. I am ignorant. I don't know anything. Please come up and teach me the truth. Please. That's what I want. I'm begging you at this point. Please, liberals, Trump haters, Democrat shills, please come up on my channel and show me the light. I will give you control of my channel. I will give you control of my channel so you can come show me the light and explain to me why I'm naive and explain to me how you know the mind of a terrorist regime so well. Explain to me how you, who are driving the kids to soccer practice all year round, know the mind of a terrorist regime so well that you can guarantee that this country had no intention of carrying out any type of attack against American citizens or the United States of America as a whole. That's all I'm asking. Guys, that's all I'm asking these people. Do you got audience, let's do this. Give me a 1 in the comments if you feel I'm asking for too much. Give me a 2 in the comments if you feel like what I'm asking is reasonable. If you're going to refute what I'm saying, just give me the information so then I can go research it myself and then I could understand where you're coming from and agree with you. Max Ninja said, Iran is hiding the fact that brothers, black people, are natives to Iran. Well, I guess that could be true. I don't know. I have no evidence to support that, but I guess it could be true.
For a deal?
There's been this talk of a deal for months and months and months. I think the terms of the deal are pretty humiliating in and of themselves, but we just need this war done.
While Trump says high gas prices will eventually come down, and he's taking his...
Listen to this guy. He said, we need a deal. The terms of the deal are humiliating, but we just need to get this done. Is that the type of people, are those the type of people you would prefer to have in charge? I know, like, we're willing to make any deal with Iran, no matter how humiliating it is for our country. Listen to this idiot. Senator Chris Murphy out of Connecticut, a Democrat. Listen to this guy.
I think the terms of the deal are pretty humiliating in and of themselves, but we just need this war done.
While Trump says high gas prices will eventually come down, and he's taking his time.
Very tough negotiators. It takes a long time. I'm in no hurry.
Iran, too, is hesitating. Its leaders refusing to sign off on a deal to extend the ceasefire and open the Strait of Hormuz.
A U.S. official says it could take several days to get a response from Iran's top leaders because of the time it takes to get messages to and from the supreme leader, who hasn't been seen in public since the start of the war, when his father, the last supreme leader, was assassinated in a joint U.S.-Israeli strike. Savannah?
Richard Engel in Tel Aviv. Thank you.
Okay, so you got the Democrats who are like, it doesn't matter how humiliating the deal is. Let's just take it. Listen. And then, let me tell you what they'll do. Then, if you sign a humiliating deal, they'll say, oh, Trump signed this humiliating deal. We would have never signed that. It's like, bro, there's nothing more humiliating than giving a terrorist regime billions and billions of dollars. Then they turn around and use the money to attack you. Biden gave Iran billions of dollars, unfroze billions of dollars of their money. Less than 6 months later, they were carrying out the October 7th attacks on Israel. Let's be real. Let's be real. Now, I want to show you guys something that shows me these people are ignorant. So Sandy Balls said, U.S. was greedy for oil and it backfired. So she was talking, or he, whoever it is, they were talking a lot of trash earlier in the comments. And this person had me thinking that they had some superior information to the information that I have. And then they make a statement like this. They write a comment like this, right? And this comment right here shows me that these people are totally ignorant of what's going on. The United States was greedy for oil, and that's why they entered into Iran. Come on, Sandy. You could do better than that. You can do better than that. Let me ask you a question. Who is the number one producer of oil in the world? We're greedy for oil. Trump was greedy for oil. He was greedy for oil, so he invaded Iran. God bless her. God bless her. God bless her straight to hell. The United States is the number one producer of oil in the world. Since surpassing Russia in 2018, the U.S. has maintained the top position, accounting for approximately 21% to 22% of the global oil output. In 2025, annualized average crude oil production in the U.S. reached 13.577 million barrels a day. What are you talking about? We produce more oil than Iran. Why did we invade Iran for oil? Sandy, I'll wait. Look what this lady said. No, back in the 60s, not now. Do you see? Excuse me. Do you see? Oh, so you're saying back in the 60s we were greedy for oil? Actually, that was more of the UK. That was the UK more than it was the United States. That was the UK who was greedy for cheap oil because they don't have any oil. The United States is just allies with the UK, so we help them undermine and overthrow the Shah. So I will say we're guilty of sin on that point. We're guilty of sin on that point. I have no problem criticizing America in that way. But I'm talking about today, right now. The only issue the United States has with Iran is we don't want them to have a nuclear weapon. And they are so, I would say, sick in the mind that they are willing to absolutely destroy their country to get a nuclear weapon. And how many countries around the world don't even have nukes? That's my question. How many countries around the world don't even have nukes? And why are nukes so necessary to where Iran is like, we need a nuke? Saudi Arabia doesn't even have nukes. And they're far richer than Iran. Far richer. But the Prince of Saudi Arabia, the Crown Prince, said, hey, if Iran gets a nuke, then we're going to be forced to get a nuke. See? This is how you know that this is a terrorist regime. They're willing to lose all these lives. They're willing to bankrupt their entire country, all in an effort to get a nuclear weapon. If that was me, I'd be like, damn that nuclear weapon. Damn that. I would probably just try to buy one from somebody, honestly. And then once we do that, we got it, and there's nothing you can do. These people are sick. These people want nukes so they can arm the terrorist proxies that they support, right, with nuclear weapons. And wherever they are, they will have pole position, pause, in whatever region they can put a proxy group. And we're not doing that. We're not doing that. And if you don't understand the numbers, right? I love when you guys come here, and I commend the people who are brave enough to come in and entertain an opposing view. You guys should be honored and respected and acknowledged. But let's just learn together. Let's just learn together. You know, at the end of the day, this is not impacting us. There's a couple of our gas is up a little bit. Our gas prices are up a little bit. But ultimately, if that's the worst that's going to happen, I'm okay with that. If that means Iran is not going to get a nuclear weapon. Now, do I want that to be the case forever? No. Indefinitely? No. Trump, get your shit together. Negotiate. But I'm not willing to allow high gas prices to put me in a position where I'm worried about my kid getting hit by a nuke. I'm just not there yet. Some of y'all are there.
I caught up with Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent for an exclusive interview at the Reagan National Economic Forum in Simi Valley, California over the weekend, just days after his first meeting with newly sworn-in Federal Reserve Chairman Kevin Warsh to discuss negotiations with Iran, the president's economic agenda, and the resilient economy and markets.
Let me get your take on what we're discussing in terms of the Iran war. How will you ensure that they keep their promises? I mean, after all of the lies and the back and forth with the Iranian leadership, do you have confidence that they're going to keep a promise?
Well, what I have confidence in is that President Trump's going to hold them to it. That with the Iranians, we'll see. Their government, as I've said, we didn't have regime change, but we changed the regime. The first layer, it was decapitated. Second layer decapitated. We're on the third group, so maybe they've seen what happened to the others, and they see that what President Trump is willing to do. So if President Trump agrees to this deal, I would tell the Iranian leaders right now he will enforce it, and both military and economically.
So what are the markers that you're going to use to ensure that they're keeping their promises?
Again, we'll see that the easiest is freedom of navigation in the Gulf, through the Strait of Hormuz. Got to go back to the way it was before. The U.S. Navy has been fighting pirates since before we were a country, and we're not going to put up with these pirates. So, but this is a chance for the Iranian leadership to try to become a normal country. They've been a pariah country for 47 years. They're the largest state sponsor of terrorism. And the Iranian people, they have a rich history. They're great merchants. They have great culture, music, food. And it is a once-in-a-generation chance for the Iranian state, for the Iranian people to come back into the global system.
I know that the president...
Yeah, and the IRGC doesn't give a damn about that. The IRGC, like Jason Beatrice said, oh, they took the ceasefire as a weakness. These people only understand one thing, the boot, if you ask me. And now the IRGC, which is like the radical wing of the Iranian government, they're actually trying to take over the whole government. Before, there was actually a little bit of balance. There were the fundamentalist extremists. They would control one part. And then you had the people like the prime minister, the president. Those people had power too, which kind of balanced the power. It balanced the scales of power in that country. So they can still run as a country and not just a caliphate. But now it's a wrap. This dude is the president, they're saying he issued his resignation letter, right? They're saying he issued his resignation letter saying that the IRGC tried to strong arm him and take power from him so that they can control the whole government. And so once that happens, this is going to break out into an all-out war because they want to fight. They don't have much to fight with, but they want to fight. They want to be martyred. They want 72 virgins or whatever. Let's tap in this.
Welcome to Fox News Live. I'm Marianne Rafferty. A potential peace deal between the U.S. and Iran remains in limbo after President Trump reportedly asked for several changes to an agreement reached by both sides last week. The request follows a Friday meeting with his national security team. Axios reports the changes include tougher language on Iran's nuclear commitments and its pledge to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. The president is also apparently concerned about financial relief for Tehran under the proposal. The volley of proposed changes coming a week after Trump declared a deal largely finalized. Adding to the uncertainty, reports out of Iran claim President Masoud Pezeshkian has submitted his resignation, saying his government has been sidelined by hardline factions. President Trump warning the U.S. is ready to resume military action if needed.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.
You know, the crazy thing is we have someone in the comments saying, oh, you guys need to get out of the Fox News bubble. Bro, like, can you at least do me a favor and, like, pay a little bit of attention? We haven't barely even used Fox News since we've been live. The first one we went to was Al Jazeera English, ABC News, that's me, Fox Business, Today in LA or Good Day LA or whatever, CNN, Fox News for this clip, and then Fox News for this clip. Then we were going to do APT, but they have no words, and Mirror Now, but they have no words. So then we went back to Fox News. Bro, we're hitting every media house. We're not just in a Fox News bubble. What are you talking about? People just assume. What you need to stop doing is labeling Fox News as an unreliable source for information, right? So that you can get a perspective, like a more holistic perspective of what's going on. I don't know. So here we go. So we got that report from Fox News. Let's get away from Fox News. Let's go to this first post, right? Okay, let's see if they are refuting what Fox News just reported. Oh, Fox News was wrong. Here we go. Another random media outlet.
A political storm is brewing in Iran after explosive reports claim that President Masoud Pezeshkian has submitted his resignation. Why? Well, apparently because of the growing differences between Iranian leadership and the powerful Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or the IRGC. But is there a real power struggle ongoing, or just another rumour amid a deepening crisis? Well, according to reports, the Iranian president has submitted an official resignation letter to the office of the supreme leader. Reports suggest Pezeshkian stated that both he and his government have been effectively excluded from major decision-making processes. He allegedly complained about key decisions being made without his administration's involvement. A serious charge in a system where authority is already tightly concentrated. But the claims go even further. According to the reported contents of this letter, the vacuum created by this situation has allowed hardline elements within the IRGC to gain greater control over state affairs.
So what he's claiming, we know that this is true because remember the disconnect. Remember, they sent negotiators to Qatar, and as the negotiators are landing, these dudes are trying to carry out strikes. These dudes are trying to mine the strait with more mines. The United States had to strike Iran while the negotiators were at the table, damn near, negotiating. So we know that what the president is saying is true. The hardline element of Iran has taken over. And maybe, just maybe, this is something we got to consider. Maybe this is exactly what Trump and Bibi wanted. Maybe they knew, based on intelligence that they've received, that the peace deals are never going to happen because the hardliners won't allow them to happen. And maybe this gives the United States and Israel the cover they need to go into Iran with more strikes. Understand that. Because did Trump really stop the strikes because he just felt like negotiating? Or did Trump stop the strikes because he was coming up on the deadline where he would need the approval of Congress to stay there? So he stops the strikes, and he even said, well, the ceasefire is a cessation of the war, of the conflict. So that ends this portion of the conflict. So if I wanted to carry out more strikes in the future, I would get another 3 months to do that. Could that have been what Trump was doing? Because I don't really see much pushback coming from the Democrats when it comes to Trump being over in the Persian Gulf. But like I keep telling people, if you don't believe that the Democrats are in on this, if you don't believe that the Democrats approve of what's going on with Iran, you're a damn fool. You are a damn fool. If they eventually take over, you don't think they would love to not have to deal with Iran? Because Iran has been like a topic or subject of much contention when it comes to how the Democrats are handling it versus how the Republicans or conservatives are handling it. If you really want to know, there's a good chance that the situation with October 7th cost the Democrats the election in 2024. Because we know there's a lot of Israeli money in politics. And if they feel unsafe, and if they feel like a particular political party is making decisions that will make them less safe, they're going to go to the other side. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. I mean, if you ask me, here's my thing. Somebody said AIPAC owns the government. This is my only question to you, John. If AIPAC owns the government and Israel controls America, why is Iran still on the map? Why is Israel, if they have the Greater Israel Project, why isn't Israel bigger than damn near every other country in the Middle East? If you control America, you control America's army. If you control America's army, that means you are in control of the most powerful fighting force to ever exist in the history of the world. And you got issues with Iran? If they were in control, they could tell the United States, hey, just drop a nuke on them. I mean, give me a 1 in the comments if you understand where I'm coming from with this line of reasoning. If Israel is controlling the United States of America, why hasn't Israel instructed the United States to invade Iran and also invade Lebanon? I honestly believe the U.S. military under Trump would make short work of Iran. I think they could go from one side of the country to the other side in probably a couple weeks. That's what I think. Under Trump, though. Not under idiots like Obama. I think they could go through Iran like a knife through butter with Apache helicopters and aerial support and stuff. I think they could go through that country relatively quickly. Why haven't they done it? What's preventing Israel from pulling that trigger? Israel is literally invading Lebanon. Why didn't Israel tell the United States, hey, come over here and help us invade Lebanon and you guys invade Iran if they're in control of our government? Because you know Bibi wants to do it. Bibi is not playing, bro. Bibi wants to stay in Gaza and everywhere else. I'm just asking these questions. You guys know. I don't know. You guys speak with so much look, now I'm dumb. Grow up, John. Grow the hell up, John. If Israel controls the United States government, why haven't they ordered the United States government to wipe Iran off the face of the planet? Oh, okay. These are my questions. I'm just asking this. I'm just asking these questions. You guys are going to have to answer that question for me if you want me to go along with this idea that Israel's controlling the United States. RF, my brother, what's the deal, brother?
Oh, hold on. What's up?
I done dragged you out of the shadows.
No, I mean, I saw your stream a few weeks ago that I just got a different take on a lot of stuff you got when it comes to like Iran and the
That's
U.S.
the point.
So I'm not. I just came in. I just saw you. I don't know what you're getting into. Right? Looks like Israel's going back into Lebanon, right?
I think they're already there. They never left.
Well, yeah, they never, they're taking up. They're pushing the Hezbollah back so their rockets can't get into their territories from that
Okay.
side of the border, from what I understand. But they're
Do
still
you agree
bombing
with
the
what they're
capital.
doing, or do you think they're wrong with what they're doing?
Ah, see, I don't think they're necessary. Well, no, you're not wrong when you're trying to defend yourselves, but I do think that them bombing the capital of Beirut, which the government is not for Hezbollah. They want to disarm those people. So they're
But,
bombing the capital, killing innocent people that have nothing to do with that.
bro,
But
bro,
yeah,
are you in Beirut right now? I hear all types of sirens in your.
yeah, I'm a little bit downtown, so yeah, I
Bro,
might be in. So I'm trying to save myself. Call the embassy, get
re-
me out of here.
reporting from the ground.
Report from the ground. I'm on the ground here. No, I'm in California, so I might as well be in Beirut.
Shoot,
So
yeah, I'm in Cali too.
yep. So yeah, but yeah, I think I'm a little I'm kind of like I think they're doing a lot. They're killing a lot of it's a lot of collateral damage. I would say that, and Israel does not care about collateral damage.
Nah, I don't think they do. I think they're dealing with hardliners, so they're just kind of like, we got to be kind of hardline too.
Yeah, but the government are not. You guys, Lebanon has a big Christian population,
Hmm.
and they're not even they have fought a whole civil war with the Christians and Hezbollah and the Islamists and stuff like that. They're killing the people, the very people who are not with the people they're trying to get. They're Iranian backed Hezbollah. And also the Israelis went in there, they went into a Christian village and pulled down and stomped on the picture on a statue of Jesus Christ.
Damn.
So yeah, you gotta look that story up. They went in there and they pulled down and the guy actually got arrested for it, the Israeli soldier. So they're just in there just creating all kind of just havoc. So I just think their military is out of control, in my opinion. There's no restraint. They don't care who they kill collaterally, and that's a problem for me.
I mean, it's true. I would have to, in my opinion, I would have to be in their shoes to understand. I'm not in that position where like I gotta rush my kids to a bomb shelter every time Hezbollah and
Please.
Iran start tripping. So
Right.
it's like I'm sure there's some pent up frustration on both sides, but I don't
Yeah, I
get.
mean,
I
yeah.
just don't understand how you have a terrorist group operating inside your country. I just
Because they
don't
don't
get
have the
that.
power, because they don't have the government of Lebanon is very weak, and they don't have the power to push them out. But I think that because Hezbollah is backed by Iran, they send them their missiles, they send them their money. All you have a state within the state, which is messed up. So
Right.
I don't. It's a very powerful military, more powerful than the Lebanese military. I don't even know how that even happened, how they had came in that situation. But you may have to say, Israel, come in here, we'll give you cost, just wipe them all out, kill them, and then we'll just go back in and just take the territory. I mean, I don't know how you even. I don't think Israel has the power. Why- Without,
Oh, you breaking up?
oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
Go ahead.
but then again, is it a land grab? Are they going in there to see? Are they going to, okay, say they wipe them out? Are they going to withdraw and then let the Lebanese government, who is not pro Hezbollah, come back in there and govern? Are they trying to put Israeli settlements in that area? See, that's the problem. A lot of this stuff is a land grab that they do.
Come on, bro. Be real. Are you really going with that one, RF? Israel is
Yeah.
trying to settle Lebanon.
I think that they will do a land grab, and eventually, if they say, "Okay, we're going to create a buffer zone," and then, okay,
I
so
see what you mean with that.
now that we have this buffer zone, okay, we're just gonna put some settlers in here. And then when you put the settlers in here, oh well, okay, well we can't like give the land back because we have people here. They do it all the time. Look at the Golan Heights, what they do with Syria. They have a whole bunch of Israeli settlement in the Golan Heights, which is part of Syria that they're supposed to give back once Syria has a stable government that's not a threat. It's supposed to be demilitarized, but now they say, oh, we have settlements here. We put our Jewish people here, so we're gonna have to come to some kind of agreement. It's that's how they do. I've been to Israel before, and man, it's like them people.
So
Some Yeah, there's some nasty people. I ain't gonna lie.
So there's some what people?
They are some nasty people, man. The way they treat the people. If you're not, even Christians, they don't leave those Hasidic and those Orthodox Jews.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like nobody who are not them. They don't like anybody, straight up, and they humiliate the hell out of them Palestinian people. So this was bound to happen. But I'm not saying what the Hezbollah. Well, Hezbollah is straight up wrong. What they did is just messed up.
Do you
But
think that do you think that the Israeli do you think Israelis control the American government? Like Israel is
yes,
secretly controlling the American government?
I don't think that they secretly control the American government. I think that they have a powerful lobby and they have so much money in our politics that they control what the American government does. They control our United Nations vote. They control, pretty much every aspect. You cannot go against what the Israelis want. You can't go against the state of Israel. They're in our churches. They have these little. When I was there, they sponsor these trips with these church groups. They say, "Oh, come to Israel." So they're deeply entrenched in the evangelical community, which
Mm-hmm.
controls the government, which controls a lot of things. So they control a lot just through their lobby. So yes, in a way.
Because my question is like I've been asking everybody if you could explain it to me. If they control the United States government, right? And I don't really think Israel cares about optics at all. If they did, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing. Why haven't they just instructed the United States to wipe Iran out?
Well,
Why don't they just have a US aircraft carrier sitting in the ocean 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, just like, hey, we'll give you instructions and you just blow the hell out of whoever we tell you to.
well, I don't think they control America to that extent to where they're directing our military and they're telling this
No,
that.
but
But
this
they
is
can.
what people are saying. RF, this is what these people are saying. They are
Mm.
like BB. Someone said BB is God and Trump is Jesus
Well,
in my comments.
yeah, well, if you ask Lindsey Graham, Bibi Netanyahu was God.
Well,
They
Lindsey Graham
do,
is nuts.
yeah, but they push us into wars that we like. They know they can't defeat Iran on their own. They know that they can't even survive in that neck of the woods on their own. So of course they have to have a powerful lobby to influence politicians, give people money in order to run for politics. So you're in their pocket. Israel cannot survive. They can't. They couldn't even do the what they did in the occupy in the West Bank and in Gaza without U.S. resupplying them. So they really need us militarily, like almost 100%. They can't even in today's climate. They can't survive a war without the U.S. They couldn't do anything in Iran. They can't do nothing with Iran without the U.S. But they
I
do
think it
have a
would
good
be.
spy network. They have an
I think
excellent
it'll be
spy
a.
network.
I think it would be an interesting fight. I wish they could. I wish we could have just. We could have just let them duke it out.
Yeah, but how? They only have air power. They can't. They can't land. A country the size of Israel, which is what the size of the state of Connecticut, and you got Iran, which is the size of Texas, with a triple the population. What you gonna? How you gonna occupy? There's nothing you can do. They can just say send a swarm of people. They have no power to defeat Iran militarily.
Okay. Let me just address this. And this is why I'm here. And this is why I encourage you guys to keep watching this channel. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Please feel free to bless us with a contribution. We definitely appreciate that. I like getting super chat contributions more than AdSense revenue because I could talk about what I want without having to worry about YouTube striking me down like the Lord for saying something or doing something that they don't like. So feel free to hit that super chat button in the bottom right corner of your screen to help us out with contributions. Or there are other options like Cash App and PayPal available at the top of the chat if you would like to donate one of those ways. The more you contribute, the more you support, the more I do videos like this. So right now, I saw somebody in the comments saying, "Oh, dual citizens are all in the Trump's cabinet," but currently there are 0 confirmed dual citizens. No confirmed dual citizenship holders between the U.S. and Israel are in Trump's cabinet.
Okay, I will say this: there are a lot of powerful people around President Trump that are dual citizenships,
Like
dual
his
citizens.
son-in-law.
Well, yeah, and the one guy who worked with what's the black lady who they're on the house now, the Jewish guy. He runs that one news network, Ben Shapiro. Ben
Oh
Shapiro,
yeah,
yeah. So you got some Zionists that are in there. He is surrounded by some
but
people who are Zionists
the
and dual
people who
citizens.
Trump appointed, like to his cabinet, like
No,
you are officially
no, the
something.
Department of War head is not part. He's not even Jewish. He's not dual citizens.
Marco Rubio is clearly not Jewish.
He's not Jewish, but he's a hardcore Israeli supporter. I
I
don't.
like Marco
Yeah.
Rubio.
I like him better than JD Vance. I mean, if
I
you
would
ask
vote
me,
for him
like
for president.
I just don't
Like,
want to vote for no Cuban. I ain't even gonna lie. I just but I
Charles, you
just
look Cuban. You look like a poppy, dude. All you need is a Hawaii shirt.
I just don't want to vote for no Cuban. But I guess I mean look, I'd rather vote for him than JD Vance. It's either Cuba or India, but I'm gonna vote for Cuba, I guess.
But look, I'm still confused. Is we Nazis or is we Zionists? You can't be both. They don't. The detractors can't decide if they want Trump's cabinet to be a cabinet of Nazis or a cabinet of Zionists, which is very interesting.
His cabinet is good. He made some choices that I don't know if I would like. He keep this a rotating of cabinet members of DOJ and Homeland Security, but
That's
besides
business.
that,
That's business. All right, now to go at the claim you made. Since 1948, Israel has actually withdrawn from 94% of the territory it captured in 1967, including the Sinai Peninsula and the Gaza Strip. However, recent military actions since October 2023 have led to the establishment of new buffer zones in the West Bank, Gaza, and Lebanon, with satellite analysis confirming new military bases and cleared areas that extend Israel's territorial control beyond pre-2024 lines. Experts describe this ongoing vagueness as a strategic choice to maximize territorial gains rather than a relic of past conflicts. Now, I'm with you on this one. They're expanding the territory exponentially. But also what kind of pushes back against this idea that they just want to keep it indefinitely, they already held the territory and they pulled out of 94% of it.
well, the Sinai was part of Egypt. It wasn't part of the territory of like Israel proper as we know it today. It was part of Egypt. Was part of Egypt. But the ultimate goal is to push all of the Palestinian Arabs out. That's what they want to do. They're saying that why don't you guys go to one of these big Arab countries like Jordan or Egypt, but they
They
won't
were
take those
there.
people.
They were there. They were already there and they got kicked out.
No, no, no. Some of them went, not all of them. Because if you leave, there's
There were
no right of return.
thousands of they were basically there were enough of them to start civil wars in both of those countries.
Well, they started a civil war, and they started a war in Jordan when the king of Jordan, when he just wiped them out and annihilated them. But
But what I'm
must
telling you is nobody wants the Palestinians in their country.
well, that might be a fact. But what
And
I'm
there's a
saying,
reason for that.
Israel's ultimate goal is to push the Palestinians out. They want that land. They want unfettered acts. They want that land. Period. But
What's the value of that land?
I mean, I can't put a monetary value on
It's
it.
a
But a
it's a
strategic
dust
value.
bin.
But Israel's so tiny. I mean, but it's
They
like
only got 11 million people. They don't gotta be that big.
yeah. But the thing is, either you're gonna make the Gaza and West Bank its own independent country, or you're gonna incorporate them into Israel. And if you do that, that's the death of Israel. It won't be a Jewish state anymore because population wise, they're gonna expand and it's not gonna be a Jewish state anymore.
The Palestinians are already on pace to surpass the Israelis inside of Israel in the next couple decades.
And that's what
I
they're
was
worried about.
I mean maybe, but I think
They-
they're more worried about if they give them sovereignty, then they won't be able to just go in whenever they feel like it and kick their ass
Well,
whenever they do
they
something.
they will. It'll be sovereignty with stipulations. They won't be allowed to have a standing army. They won't be able to have a navy. So it'll be like a stipulation. They won't. They will never be have to have. They will never have a army that will be able to threaten Israel. That would be a stipulation in their
Yeah.
independence, as it was when they negotiated back in the day.
They'll
So
just keep rolling with Hamas. Uh, this now sounds like a great idea, Lunatic Menace. They want to make the Gaza Strip like a tourist attraction,
yeah,
like
Trump City,
UAE and
whatever
Dubai.
Trump said.
That's awesome. I think that's a great idea. Better than what they're currently doing with it.
Yeah, but
Building
under
tunnels
whose
everywhere to hide
control?
terror under the
No,
control of the United States, obviously.
no, but what Trump says, we want to have everybody move out temporarily, and we're going to build all this stuff up, and then we're going to invite you back. That can be a setup for a trick, because if you have your house there and stuff like that,
This
you
is
think you're really going to
ridiculous.
move over to Egypt, and then when it's all built up, you say, "Hey, I'm ready to come back."
They can't
Yeah,
go to
right.
Egypt.
Bullshit.
They can't
Yeah.
even go to Egypt, bro.
Well, they can't go to Egypt or Jordan either, because Jordan, which is a totally different, I guess, ethnic group of Arabs, they're pretty much been inundated already by Palestinians.
Right. I think the Palestinians are going to be fine. In 1948, there were only 1 million Palestinians globally. Today, in 2026, there are 7.1 million Palestinians globally. So, this idea when people are like, Israel wants to genocide Palestinians, I'm like, that doesn't add up,
Well,
bro. Like,
they do. I think
no,
they
bro,
do.
there's 2 million Palestinians living inside the country of
Well,
Israel.
well, they do, but they can't. They don't have you would have to have a 24-hour slaughter factory to do that. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Bro,
just
they could have got
physically.
them when there were only 1 million of them.
Yeah, but they did. They. I mean,
No,
if you look at some films
these
of what
guys
they
grew.
did,
Let me say this, RF. That is a 491% increase of the Palestinian population. You
right?
cannot say someone is actively trying to genocide you when your
Yeah,
population increased by 491%.
yeah, yeah. But the problem is,
Oh,
y'all got this idea.
come
Y'all got
on.
this. But see, here's the problem. Y'all got this idea that land somehow belongs to these Ashkenazi Jews from Europe
No, I don't have that
that have
idea.
this divine right to come the things were just fine before they got there. There were already Jews that were there before the Ashkenazis from Europe
There were Jews
came.
there. There were
There were Jews,
Palestinians there.
Palestinian Jews, Arab Jews before the
Jesus was
Ashkenazis.
they say Jesus was a Palestinian Jew.
Well, that's what they say. But
Yeah.
the only reason they're there is because the Zionists said they didn't. Every country, the U.S. turned their big boat away. They said we're not taking in the Jews, and so they dumped them off on the Palestinians who thought, okay, well, we can live with them. But then they just ended up
But they
taking
were
taking the land.
Palestinian Jews too. So those Jews have been there.
Well, there's Palestinian Jews. There's a lot of Palestinian Christians too.
Yeah. I agree with you. But I just think this is a religious issue. The religion is messing this all up because Palestinians weren't even traditionally Muslims. And it's like I be telling people, man, Islam is like an issue, bro.
No, they were.
They be low
I
key
think they were
causing a lot.
Christians.
No, they were Jews. They were Jews.
Oh, okay.
Remember Jesus, Palestinian Jew.
Oh well, that whole area was taken over with what do you call it, the Crusades. It was the
Yeah.
Muslims would invade and take over and convert
Then the
everybody. Then the
Europeans
Christians would,
came.
then the area, and then so
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's why when people say, "Oh, your DNA traces back to Europe," duh, that area has been invaded by European nations, shit, 1,000 years ago.
Well, yeah,
So of
multiple
course,
times. Yeah, the
yeah.
Turks,
So
the Ottomans, everyone.
King Richard went up in
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Yeah, the Ottoman Turks. Shoot, everybody had a piece of that ass over
yeah,
there. So I think Genghis Khan was over in that motherfucker for a while.
yeah.
But
But
it's so I don't think the DNA is gonna be a death knell in the argument or whatever. But
But I do want to make the point that I think that until this deal that Trump has with Iran on this ceasefire, it's not even it's not even a deal. It's a 60-day ceasefire. He keeps saying that they say they're going to give up their nukes. What does that mean? Trump, you said that we were going to remove the nuclear materials. They never said they were going to give up their nukes. They never
they
said
don't have.
any
I mean,
such thing.
allegedly they don't have nukes.
Well, they don't have nukes right now, or they're going to give up their right to develop nuclear weapons. They're not going to give up that right to enrich uranium or give away the enriched uranium that they have. So I don't know what this victory is going to be. If it looks like that Obama deal, which is what it's looking like, then what was this whole thing about?
I don't think it looks like the Obama deal because the Obama deal was trash.
Well, his deal is trash too because he's about to give him a whole boatload of money for this ceasefire.
No,
He's
you're
about to
wrong.
not go in there and get those
You're
nuclear
wrong, RF.
material. Yeah.
This is why you don't like watching my channel because I be correcting you on stuff.
Well,
hey, but have you noticed since you stopped watching my views like took off, dude?
Yeah.
Why'd you leave? Maybe you were the person who was causing me not to give views. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, maybe I did. Maybe I'm the one that drove you down, but
But yeah, it's not all about the views, bro. I actually like having these conversations because it's two sides. We're peaceful. We're not. You're a Nazi. You're this kind of crazy stuff. We're civil. We civilized. Civilized. But look, that
Spencer
money
Pratt
is
is
not
MAGA.
coming. No, he's not. But
Go ahead.
That money is not coming from us. That money is actually coming from Gulf nations, bro.
No, the money is coming from accounts that we already have frozen from them. That's where it's coming from. They have billions.
We're gonna we said we would consider unfreezing some accounts that they have in Kuwait with frozen money. We consider it, but their reconstruction fund is coming from the 300 billion. That is coming from Gulf nations. That was actually
no. There's no the Gulf nations will not rebuild Iran. It's going to come from Iran. It's going to come from Iranian. It's going to come from Iranian money, billions in frozen assets that we're going to release to give them to rebuild their country. It's not going to be no Gulf nations going to write a check to Iran to rebuild their country.
That's RF. That is what is going on.
Well, if that's the truth, then that's a fool's deal. That's humiliation to me. That's a Trump humiliation.
The United States is not giving them a penny.
Well, it's a Trump humiliation to force your Gulf allies to force your Gulf allies.
He's not forcing them.
Of course he is. Of course he's forcing them. Oh,
bro,
yeah, he is.
Listen, bro. They're gonna listen. All right, come on, you too smart for this. If they invest in that country, that reduces the chances that Iran goes back into basically authoritarianism and terrorism. Now your Muslim brothers are heavily invested in that nation, and now you got to make decisions based on how it will impact them financially. Because if you don't, what happened?
It's just a lie, but go ahead.
I don't think it's just a lie, RF. I think you just don't like that. I think you got a little TDS going here.
No. What is the interest of the Gulf states to invest? First of all, Iran never went back to Iran is still in the same government that it had before. There's still an Ayatollah. The clerics are still in charge, and it's still a theocratic, a hardline theocratic state. It's same people, same ideology. Same
Those
ideology.
People are dead. The son is gay.
Same ideology. But what? Okay, well, he's a gay hardliner.
We have yet to see.
He's a gay, impotent hardliner. Okay, that's from what I hear. But he's still a hardliner.
That right there is already a step in the right direction, bro. Bro is a fairy.
Yeah, but it's still.
He don't want to fight. He wants to make love to men.
Well, they say he went to Europe for like
57.
Yeah, for erectile is something I don't know.
Stop, bro.
But they say he did.
Hey, ED is a very sensitive issue among men, bro. Don't. Hey, look, we've been talked about, bro, and we go to do something, and our shit not be working.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Nobody's ED, bro. Hey, God bless him. Bless him. Okay. Let me do that. Let me ask you to read this right here. Can you read this? Can you see right now?
Yeah, I can't see that because the time is on, but I see. Blah,
you need your reading glasses?
Billion Iran Reconstruction Fund is an international investment fund that the United States will help facilitate rather than direct payments to the U.S. from the U.S. Treasury. The Trump administration has specifically asked Gulf states and Middle Eastern countries to support the fund, the reconstruction efforts. Yeah.
Right. So the U.S. is going to facilitate. The U.S. aims to avoid direct cash payments to Iran to prevent domestic political backlash.
But why would we do that?
We
got nothing out of this war. We got nothing out of this war.
We got a lot out of this war, bro. You not even Bro, did you see? See, that's why you need to watch my channel. Did you see what happened when Trump went to China, bro? We have so many new deals with China now. So many, like, they're buying like 250 Boeing 747s, bro. Like, they're done. Like, we basically control all the oil on the globe right now, which is crazy when you think about it.
Okay,
What
that I
country
would
is,
agree with.
dude, do you understand the gains on that?
Okay, no, the petrodollar has been protected. I will say that, but
Okay, that's a
and
big deal.
and the UAE has left OPEC,
You was
which
up here
was
talking
pushed.
about BRICS. I remember when you were celebrating BRICS 2 years ago. BRICS this, BRICS that. BRICS is done.
Well, who celebrated BRICS? I
Was
never
that you?
celebrated
That might have
BRICS.
been that
I
might have been
fucking hate
somebody.
BRICS. That's the most
Man.
anti-American, run by the Chinese
Okay, you were
bull
with
crap
me
I
on
ever.
BRICS. It was Allen. It was Allen, I believe, who supported BRICS. But BRICS, people were saying BRICS was like the greatest threat to America, and now BRICS is cooked. They have
BRICS was always cooked. First of all, you got South Africa in there, which is almost on the verge of
a
being a damn
joke.
near failed
That's
state.
that's a
You know,
joke.
India, which is I mean that country's a mess. Their main enemy is China. How you have a country where where the main members, China and India, are enemies? You know what I mean? They'll never have a common currency.
They suck.
So
They
yeah.
suck, bro. Like that's real. But so we just got to get that we got to solidify this point. U.S. is not giving any money. The administration is actively enlisting Gulf states to provide the capital for $300 billion package. Private investment, the concept attributes to the envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, involves the incentivizing U.S. oil. Oh, so guess what? This whole thing, I was going to tell you too. When they rebuild Iran, like companies run by like Jared Kushner, Trump, and a bunch of other American real estate developers are actually going to have like priority to the contracts to build over there. This dude Trump is taking 300 billion out of the Gulf states and basically putting in the pockets of himself, his friends in the United States. You can't be mad at that. That was a masterful move.
I'm not mad at it if it's true.
It's dirty as hell, but
I don't believe well, I would rather you okay, first of all, I would rather if we're gonna do it, I'd rather be our dirty people than China's dirty people. That's the way I look at it. So what you know what I'm saying? Like I'd rather we get something out of it, American, which protect if somebody's buying oil, I'd rather buy oil in dollars, the petrodollar, which protects the US economy. I have no problem with that. Because if we're gonna either it's us or it's somebody else. Who's less corrupt? If China, you think if China, they're not going to have their cronies in there doing the same thing. So I don't give a shit.
I don't care who's corrupt as long as my oil prices, my gas is cheap. But the thing is, what I believe is going on, Trump is beating these people at their own dirty game, and Americans, we just don't like it because it gives us like a ick, like this is not like on the up and up. And Trump's kind of like, I ain't hiding it from you. This is a dirty game, and someone's got to play it. That's how he did it. That's what he did in New York, like where he had to
Was this
contend with the
war
mob and
over?
everybody else.
But was the war over nukes or was it over control over Iran's oil or both?
I think it was over both.
Yeah, okay, but what? Okay, how are you gonna establish this as a victory that's understandable to the American people? How are you gonna come back? What are you guys? Okay, we're gonna stop the war. They're still gonna have their nuclear materials. They're still gonna be able to enrich
Well, they're supposed
uranium.
to give up the nuclear materials.
I say we're gonna see if that's actually true because
We're
we're
gonna
gonna see if
see.
that's true. We're gonna see
We're
if
not
that's
gonna
true.
know if this is a victory for at least like I would say 5 years from now, until at least 5 years from now, because
No, no,
we
no.
gotta see how everything plays out.
No. We're gonna know if it's some type of victory once we see the entire agreement. And if that agreement looks like the Obama deal, where you're creating this investment council to give them incentives for control over their oil fields and contracts and stuff. Like it just doesn't. I'm just saying it just doesn't sit right. It just what I'm saying. It does not
Yeah,
something you can sell to
but
the
it can't
American
it
people.
can't be like the Obama deal already, because the Obama deal did not secure 300 billion from Gulf nations. Let me get this super chat, then we're gonna go to my brother Leonard. Jason Beatrice, Islam has 50 countries. I think they got 57, but Islam has 50 countries. Let the Jews have a country. It's the size of New Jersey. That's an argument I made, Jason, and I agree with you there. the Muslims got 50. I think they're 57. Let me see. How many Muslims?
How you just gonna let somebody have a country? What you mean let them have a country?
Just it's like they
What you
act
mean
like
let them have a
Israel.
country?
They act like Israel's just like the big bad wolf already. Oh, there's 53 Muslim countries. So the Muslims got 53 countries, but just Jews having one country is like this huge issue.
But who's
I don't
mandating?
understand that.
Who,
That's
who
silly to me.
who's mandating the push to give the Jews a country? Like I
They
don't
already have a
understand this big.
country.
Yeah, I'm saying yeah, they have a country for sure. But I'm saying, but I don't understand this big thing about give. Like, see, y'all are such in this mindset that they're the chosen people. Y'all are
No,
up in
I
this.
don't believe they're the
Y'all are in
chosen.
that. The person who wrote that comment is into that. That's what I'm saying.
Bro, you got to be out your mind.
But I gotta go anyway. I gotta step out.
Wait,
But
don't leave yet. Don't leave. Hold on 1 second, bro. Hold
yeah.
on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if this goes through real quick. Because I want to show you what I literally, like, people think, oh, if you say this, you have to believe that Israel is the chosen. And I'm like, I've never believed that. That's the most asinine shit I've ever, I
They're
don't,
New York scammers. All of them sitting there on welfare in New York, all on welfare and subsidized housing in New York. Them Orthodox and Hasidic Jews. It's all kind of nonsense that they do over
are they
there.
scamming in the name of Jesus?
They're scamming in the name of whatever God that they worship.
They scam in the name of Abraham.
Mm.
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So look, I got it. It's right here. It's right here, dude. I'm just going into my Facebook account. You're logged in. Hold on. I'm going to my Facebook because I haven't even been on Facebook. Look at this, man. I be trying to tell people something. And this is like, you know, here we go. It's right here. Because my friends are like, you believe this and you believe that. And I'm just like, dude, I don't believe none of that shit. So on May 29th, right, I posted this post on Facebook. And this pretty much is where I stand on it. So if anyone gets any funny ideas, my first line is, I do not believe that the Jews are God's chosen people. I do not believe that Islam is a religion of peace. I also don't believe Muhammad is God's prophet. Hell, I don't even believe Muslims worship the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I believe the Muslims worship Hubal, who is a pre-Islamic god of the Kaaba stone. How do you take the stone of Hubal and just reassign that hoe to Allah, then claim to worship the same God as the Christians while simultaneously saying you don't worship Yahweh or believe that Jesus is the Son of God? So I don't want anybody to get it twisted. All that shit's
reassign that whole.
yeah. How you reassign that? Yeah. No, bro. I did my
I'm
research.
dying.
My friend was trying to convert me to Islam, bro, and I saw this image. Like I did a show about it too, of these Islamic dudes. They're praying to the Kaaba stone in Mecca, and I'm like, how did Muhammad find the Kaaba stone? And it was like he conquered this people who worshiped this god called Hubal before Allah was ever invented. And I'm like, so if you bowing down to Hubal's rock, how are you not worshiping Hubal? And so
Well,
I
I
just
would tell
made the
people
connection.
to read any book on pre-Islamic Arabia, and
Right.
you see all you need to know because
Yeah.
it was definitely an idol worshiping type of thing that they converted
Even the
to.
moon, even the crescent moon symbol came from paganism in the Arabian Peninsula in the Middle East. How do you take all these pagan deities and their symbols and then be like, oh, that means this now?
Well,
How do
isn't Mary
you,
a pagan deity? Isn't
bro? But
every
no,
country has robbed from
but
some other
Christians are
religion?
not supposed to worship Mary though.
Well,
They're not even supposed to
I'm just
worship the
saying.
cross.
What I'm saying is, that if you look at Christianity and you look at
Mhm.
some pre-Christian religions, Zoroastrianism and these other religions, there's a
Yeah.
lot of similarities in some of the accounts and stories and yada yada yada. That's the same as Christianity, but just remixed. But go ahead. I don't even want to touch on that subject.
Hey, Zoroastrian, that came from Persia.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
I know
still there
about
too.
that. They still
Yeah.
there. I know about. Look. All right, if you're not gonna stump me, all right, I'll be doing my reading. Eyes can read. All right. Have a blessed day, man.
All right, take it easy. Remember,
Hey,
maybe make sure you vote for Pratt. Look like he's going to be a runoff
I'm
in
gonna go up
L.A.
there. I'm gonna go up there and vote illegally.
Well, you can't. You know what? I might drive down there and vote. Could you?
Look, let's all vote illegally. They're
Yeah,
not gonna ask
everybody
us
don't
for
want to
ID.
lose. Yeah, they don't know ID. You know that could be. You know what? The Republicans they talk about. I saw a real story on that. Everyone's saying they're going down there to do that. But that lady, she's on her heels, man. She's on her heels. But I don't know. She probably gonna do something corrupt to pull off a victory. But we'll see.
Remember that old song? If I had ID, I wouldn't need ID. Hey, all right. Have a good day.
Take it easy.
Leonard Roy, how's it going? Are you muted? Okay. All right. Leonard Roy. Guys, you said you need, okay, go ahead. Guys, so we're gonna talk to Leonard for a second, and before we leave, we're gonna talk about, I want to cover one more thing, this situation that's going on in Seattle, where these liberals are crying now after voting to defund their police, voting in a socialist mayor, and now their neighborhoods are getting shot up so bad that they're trying to put planter boxes in the middle of the street to stop the gang members from driving down their streets to do shootings and drive-bys and stuff. But go ahead. What's up, my brother Leonard?
I didn't know about that. That is
yes.
fabulous.
Oh yeah, they on the news crying, real tears.
That is fabulous. Yeah. Yeah, but when the brother was talking about the country fixing with Iran, whatever, it's like, if you go back, look at wars historically, fought by this country, they always rebuilt the nation that they destroyed.
Yeah, what do you think the Marshall
So that's
Plan was?
good. Yeah, so that's nothing new. I mean, that's something that it's been being done since. But if they could do it this way and get others to pay for it and not the American tax dollar, I'm all for it.
Right, let's do it.
Exactly.
I'm with that.
Make it happen.
With that.
Make it happen. Because somebody, a post came up on their Facebook, right, from 2022, and they shared it. Gasoline was $6 and something. It's in Illinois, right?
Mm-hmm.
It ain't $6 and something now.
Nope.
No war, just Biden in office, huh? But now Trump bad, Trump is, and they tickle me so much because I stopped asking people, like, what has he done that has caused strife in your life? I don't even ask that question anymore. Because this is no answer for you. But what policy did Trump put into play that altered your well-being, monetarily or whatever? No, I didn't know. As soon as you start a sentence with see, automatically no, you don't have an argument.
No, yeah, and I beg them, come up, show us what we're missing, show us why we don't know what we're talking about, because that's what these guys always say, and they can never come up. Like the situation with the gas, right? Look at this. The highest annual average gasoline price under Barack Obama occurred in 2012, when the national average reached approximately $3.67 per gallon. Even now, it's barely at $4. So it was only like 30 cents less than it is now with no war. While specific regions and individual stations saw prices exceed $5 during peak periods in 2011 and 12, these were localized spikes rather than national averages. But look at this. Once Obama left office, like immediately following him leaving, the prices fell by $2.14.
Exactly. I remember buying premium Premium now.
Yeah.
Premium fuel for $2.12 a gallon.
Yes.
Premium.
But my
premium,
thing is,
not premium.
If it's Trump, oh, this is the worst thing ever. Oh my God, gas is ridiculous. But when Obama had me paying $5.20 a gallon in California, nobody cared. It was okay. What did I pay? Yesterday, got gas. It was $5.59. You telling me a war has just, and the gas was higher than that under Biden during COVID and all that. But
Right.
if you tell me $5.59 is the price to kick Iran's ass, I'm like, that's not bad, because for damn near all of 2011 and 2012, I was paying damn near $5.20 a gallon for gas for the whole year, not just a couple months, the entire year, 2 years.
Now, see, I'm looking at my buddy's post. Like I said, he's up in Chicago, and he's got Shell V-Power Nitro 93 octane, $6.30 a gallon. He got on here.
Nice one.
Time to go get a Prius. And I'm sitting here like, I've never paid that much ever. But I'm like, you look at where you live. No, well, see, yeah, look at where you live. Biden was in office. Okay. Mm-hmm. They're not paying that much in Chicago for premium gas now that Trump's in office. But they're not looking at the facts that they're getting taxed out the yin and the yang for every single something.
Yeah, every single little thing.
You got the city tax, the county tax, the tax on tax.
Look at this. Look at this. This is Long Beach, California. People,
Lord.
Gas is $6. It's $6 in LA. This is around where I live. Gas is $5.19, $5.29, $5.35, $5.39, $5.39, right? Now we can do a very simple equation, Leonard. Let's do a very simple equation, because I thought they told me gas was $6. I see gas at $5, right? Now they told me it was $6. Now let's do a very simple equation. Let's deduct the $1.78 that is attached to every gallon of gas in regulatory fees and taxes from the state of California, and tell me how much I should be paying in gas, because California sells Nevada gas. Once the gas that California sells Nevada across the state line, that gas goes down by $2 whole in cost, right? Because Nevada doesn't have the ridiculous taxes and stuff. So if I go, let's say $5.19 a gallon, right? Let's start at $5.19. If I'm at $5.19 a gallon, but I deduct $1.78 in taxes, I'm only paying $3.41 for gas.
So it's the same thing.
I'm not blaming Trump. I'm blaming California, because our country, let me tell you the dumb thing. And if you guys didn't know this, pay attention. In California, this is what we do. We produce damn near the most oil out of every state in the union, right? We've shut down all of our refineries except 6 of them or something like that. We used to have 40 refineries. So now what we do is we pump the oil, we load it onto a tanker ship, Leonard. We ship that oil to China through the Strait of Hormuz. China then refines our oil for us. When we had 40 refineries and got rid of them because green energy, they refine our oil for us and then ship it back through the Strait of Hormuz back to California. Now, how stupid does that sound to you?
That is hustling backwards. But what do you expect? So, I mean, it's like this. If you live in Chicago, you're on the South Side, you want to save yourself on gas, just drive over the border to Gary, Indiana.
Right. That's a long ass way, though.
No, it's not.
30 minutes, Leonard. That's pretty far.
No, it's not.
Okay. I'm going to take your word for it.
No, trust.
You must be taking the toll road.
No, ain't no toll road. You can take the street.
Oh,
you can get on 79th Street or 71st Street, mainly 79th Street. Just drive east. Like you go into the lake and just keep going, and you cross one street and you in Gary. They got that one big gas station right over the railroad tracks, and everybody, man, it'd be packed. You don't see nothing but Illinois license plates. Like, what the hell going on here? Gas and cigarettes. They don't have the taxes on cigarettes either. So you get people that go over there. When they used to be hustling them cigarettes, they'll go over there buy cigarettes, and then they'll sell them Lucy's in Chicago and make a nice little profit on that.
Lucy's, no, seriously.
Yeah.
All right, so
man, it's a trip.
We got a detractor. I love that y'all all come to this channel to learn. We got Don Quixote, Don Quixote. You should change it to Don Quixote, because that would be more fitting. Don Quixote. So he says, we don't do that. You are stupid. Look. This guy's dumb. Yes, California ships crude oil to China and other Asian nations like India and South Korea for refining, primarily due to a structural imbalance where the state consumes more fuel than its shrinking domestic refineries can produce. But we're the ones shutting down the refineries. So we produce more oil than our refineries can refine because we've shut down. We have 48 refineries, and now we're down to 6. And they shut those down for environmental reasons. So they export this. California exports significant volumes of crude oil to Asian refineries, which then process it into gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel that are then shipped back to the U.S. West Coast. What is this guy talking about? But see, this is what I'm telling you. California, this guy, Don Quixote, he probably lives in California, and he is very ignorant of what's going on in his own state. He doesn't even realize the asinine things that our state is doing, which is costing us more money. And when we tell this guy, look, man, vote Republican. Vote Republican so we can get someone in who's going to do some compensation. You don't have to vote Republican for the rest of your life. Vote one-time Republican so we can get some shit corrected and make it to where the Democrats can't easily reverse it. They don't want to do it. We could be paying $3.41 a gallon right now, but we want to ship our shit all the way. And yes, when they ship it to China, I believe they do ship it through the Strait of Hormuz. But I could be wrong on that. Let me see. Does it through the Strait of Hormuz? I think it does. Oh, no, it doesn't. No, oil shipped from California to China does not pass through the Strait of Hormuz. Shipping route: tankers travel from California ports to Los Angeles and China sail directly west across the Pacific Ocean. The route typically passes near Hawaii and the Strait of Malacca. Strait of Hormuz function. The Strait of Hormuz is a choke point located between the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman. It is exclusively used for oil exports originating from the Middle East. Direct flow. While California may send crude to China and China may send refined products back to California, neither leg of this specific trans-Pacific journey involves the Persian Gulf or Strait of Hormuz. The strait is only relevant if the oil originates from or is destined for Middle East. Okay, so he was right about that. I give you your credit. You were right about that. I was assuming. But guess what? It's still stupid in general. And let me tell you this. Let me tell you why I actually thought that. Because Gavin Newsom got on the news and was like, Trump, his war in Iran was impacting the gas prices in California. So I assumed maybe we bring it through the Strait of Hormuz. That's why it's impacted. But he tried to make it seem like the Strait of Hormuz situation was making our oil less accessible. Remember they were doing that thing like, oh, this is the last oil tanker destined for California that's going to come through the strait. They were reporting that on the news, Leonard. Even they were reporting that on the news. And so I was like, oh, it goes through the Strait of Hormuz. Okay, I made the mistake. My bad. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, they these people, man, they are way out, and I don't try to understand them, Because I'm gonna tell you, there were a lot of people that we no longer even communicate, right? All over Trump Part 1, right?
Yeah. Oh, so
Trump
we
Part
go
1.
ahead. Go ahead.
Plenty and plenty of black people and a plethora of gay people of various nationalities because they're so pro-Democrat, right?
Right.
I'm like, so what? Trump gonna enact the doggone law that's gonna stop you all from booty goosing or something? I
From breathing.
what? I mean, it's like, what the? Come on now, let's just be real. But yeah, it's a trip, and I'm like, it's like this little female. We yeah. Anyway, you get to a certain age, you should do whatever. But she was on some anti-Trump, whatever, and I was just sitting here like, well, I don't know how we gonna doggone get it in because I said D Twizzle is my nizzle if he don't get no bizzle. She's like, what? I said, you know how y'all always talking about y'all, who's a real N-word and who's not a real, right?
Right.
I said, Trump is a real N-word. All right. He's a real one. He got multiple baby mamas. He's got felonies and he's been shot. You can't get no realer N than that. Yeah. Next, he need to go. He'll be smoking a blunt with Snoop Dogg. She was like, you stupid. I said, but did I lie though? Well, yeah, I mean, he did get shot and he do have multiple baby mamas and now he got felonies. So that constitutes a real N, right?
Man.
So
I guess.
When, yeah, I mean, jokingly, because it's a joke, but it's a good joke because if you think about it, logically, what's the criteria for being a real N-word? You have to have felonies, multiple baby mamas, and you got shot. So under that premise, yeah, that's Trump. So I was like, yeah, this D Twizzle my nizzle. It's like, you need professional help. I'm like, why over the truth? And, I mean, it's just a trip. I'm like, oh. Because the two questions you can't ask: what have the Republican Party done to you, and get an answer, or what has the Democrat Party done for you?
For you. The answer is the same. The answer is nothing to both of those. Let me read this real quick. Approximately 7% of total U.S. crude oil imports come through the Strait of Hormuz, according to U.S. Energy Information Administration data from 2024. This volume represents about 500,000 barrels per day from Persian Gulf countries, and I bet you those are all coming directly to California. In 2024, this accounted for 2% of total U.S. petroleum liquid consumption. 2%. The share has declined from 11% in 2022 as domestic production and imports from Canada increase. I'm going to tell you something. I think Trump has been planning on attacking Iran since his first, he talked about attacking Iran when he came down the golden escalator. And he actually moved our country away from dependency on the Strait of Hormuz for oil. And then he attacks Iran, and it's like he attacked Iran. And people are like, oh, Trump's dumb. He made a blunder. I'm like, nah, I think Trump's been planning this because the fact that he went from 11% of our oil all the way down to less than 2% coming through the Strait of Hormuz, I think that was all strategic, man. Y'all can say what y'all want to, but yeah. Dude, I've already done, Don Quixote, I've done everything you ask. You're wrong. You should apologize. 0% of oil comes from Iran because of the trade embargo. We don't get any oil from the 100%. 100%. But we're just talking about oil coming through. All oil coming from Gulf nations, most of it comes through the Strait of Hormuz. But only California is getting oil from Gulf nations, bro. I'm telling you, this state is fucked up.
Yeah, well, I mean,
It's nice.
it's
though.
good. It's good for somebody that lives there to actually admit it, because I see people in Chicago, boy, they can all the time they complain, and I'm sitting here like, okay, now, no one's forcing you to stay.
Right.
No, I shouldn't have to leave well, fine, pick a struggle. Either you're going to be someplace where you're going to get taxed out the yang and the yang, and if you drive a nice vehicle, you're going to continually have to get wheel alignments because the streets are tore up.
Oh yeah,
And
I
if
already know that.
that don't beat all, you're going to get jacked.
Carjacked. And I'm about to move to Griffith, Indiana, so I could become a Bears fan because y'all about to lose the team.
And you had them talking about all this real estate, this real estate, that real estate. I said, look, you're going to the south side of Chicago. Chicago is set up like one big grid. Okay. The houses, they're 25 feet wide by 125 feet deep. That's the lot that they sit on.
Right.
Each individual lot is 3,125 square feet. That's it.
Right.
So if you want to have room in a house, you have to build tall.
Yeah,
because you
all the
can't
houses are
build
skinny.
wide.
The houses are skinny in Chicago. When I first went there, I thought that was so funny.
Little bitty skinny house with 3 floors.
Yep.
Right. What the? Okay. And that's how it's done. Because they talk about me. Some of them, it's like, man, yeah, you went fight the white man war and that. Okay, beautiful. Let's fast forward to the present. I am not paying property taxes. My mortgage is $1,800, and that's barely rent in some places.
Right.
And I could put 3 houses from Chicago in my backyard, and I still have yard.
Where did you move
and
to?
my house.
Where'd you move to?
Georgia.
Yeah, so you smart. You got the hell out of there.
Yeah.
You could have moved to Indiana.
I mean, I left.
They got some nice houses.
No, I left.
in
No,
Indiana.
I left in '86, man.
You been gone.
Did my military thing and this and that. My last duty station was Hunter Army Airfield, and I was living in Savannah, and I loved it. But then they had one too many hurricanes that went Savannah way, and I was like, okay,
I'm done with this shit.
I got to move more inland. So I moved inland, and here I be. And
Hey, nothing wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you saw the writing on the wall. You didn't wait for it to get on your front to come to your front porch. But Leonard, I'm gonna wish you a good day. I'm about to end this live stream. Thank you for coming up, my brother.
Yeah,
Appreciate you.
it popped up. I got the alert, so I was like,
Yeah,
because
good
I
seeing
just
you.
don't be getting alerts. On
A lot of
they
people,
just
yeah, a lot of people. I think it's because I don't be posting enough. I think you really got to be posting consistently for them to always be hitting people. But I'm glad you got it, man, and it's good to see you.
Yeah. All right, bro. Later.
Have a good one. Peace. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching this. I appreciate everything you do for me and this channel. I hope that you enjoyed this show, and I hope it added some value to your day and you learned something, because I learned something today. I learned that oil coming from China to California doesn't go through the strait. I learned that. I'm not the smartest person in the world. You are absolutely right. It's called voting with your feet. And this is how you can prove your point. And please remember, when people leave, they don't come back. 100%. 100%. Thank y'all so much for being here with me. And I got some more videos coming you guys' way. So stay tuned, because we trying to go up to the moon. I got that from LA Try Guy. Thank you so much for watching this. Till the next time, take care of yourself. But most importantly, take care of each other. Peace.